we've got our eclipse glasses on to see the sun and some of the biggest stories in sports from this past week. Actually, these are pitch black. I can't see a thing. Let's get into it with women's basketball.
Syracuse saw a lot of things like that throughout the first 4 matches of the season, winning its first 4 duels. That catapulted to winning 7 of its first 8.
Citrus TV still on the quad, and clearly there are some interesting outfits here. Phil, how did this come together?
So I'm getting married. It's my bachelor party. I'd like to say shout out to Caitlin.
We have to start running because when Dino Baber stepped into the head coaching role in 2016, the program was essentially a runaway train headed off the tracks. Oh! How does that even happen? Otto's trying to turn her head around. This is Jesse Cook with Otto the Orange, the most famous man in all of college sports, sending it back to you guys outside the dome. Back in central New York, it was a great day for the color guard, with the Orange taking on the Big Red in lacrosse. Syracuse and Cornell went to overtime last year, and the Big Red won. How about another? Elephant in the room, the 2-3 zone. Is it something you use a lot, a little, or not at all? Now, if you want to know how big 7'4" really is, well, these boxes in front of me are 1.5 feet tall. I'm 5'7", and I'm still a little bit shorter than Naheem McLeod.
And the boys are going out tonight. Let's go, baby.
Oh, man. Citrus TV on the quad. If Syracuse wins, the boys are going out tonight. You heard from Phil. Back to you guys.
Roll Tide, go Longhorns.
I looked through some old pictures, some old athletic photos. You've got long hair now, but what happened to the mullet?
Yeah, the mullet. I mean, it's kind of here. I still got it.
SU had not lost to BC since 2020. So, after that losing streak, I guess luau's over. Watch here. Cutto Schreinemakers is hanging right by the net. Off this pass here, you watch Pika Vanapas at the top, goes straight through, and Schreinemakers is right there on the doorstep.
Kind of starting to bring it back this summer. Definitely not as impressive as the one in high school was.
Not yet.
Not yet, yes.
The last time that the Orange played a game at a neutral site, well, they didn't fly out of here. They went on a bus to New York City to fly out to Honolulu for the Maui Invitational. Hey everybody, touchdown in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. I'm the first member of my family to ever visit this state, and as you might have guessed, it's the first time that Syracuse and Oregon have played here as well. And why are they here? Well, it's to celebrate the 10th birthday for the Sanford Pentagon. Well, Phil, the weather conditions around me right now, a little bit of snow, cold, that's exactly what the softball team had to endure that entire week leading up to the game. Balancing puck in class is still part of the job description for Scott. He's got to finish up his courses at McGill to get his degree, but it's those brains that his coaches say make him ready for the pros. And how's the arm feeling after the hit by pitch?
That's nothing. It feels good. I mean,
that's nothing. He's a tough one. NCC News rolling back along. Jesse Cook with you for sports. Long story short, people are hitting the road. Syracuse forward and at times center Malik Brown entered his name into the transfer portal on Monday. Tying run at the plate, Lourdes Escorial Jr. 5-4-3 for 2. 1-0 series lead for the Phillies. Monster trucks pushed Syracuse women's lacrosse out of the dome and off to Cicero North Syracuse High School. In those 2 events, we had one where one squad bulldozed its opponent and crushed everything in its path, obliterating all that stood in its way. The other was Monster Jam. I think you're right, Ian. This was the best that we've seen from Judah Mintz. He scored more points. He dropped 33 against LSU about 3 months ago at the beginning of the season. But this was more about what he didn't do. He didn't hog the ball. He didn't take contested shots. He didn't play hero ball. Well, right before Christmas, Adrian Autry watched his team and how they carried themselves in the last few minutes, and he acted like he found coal in his stocking. When the first frontiersmen settled in South Dakota, they relied on everyone on the trail to make a living. Syracuse men's basketball used a similar family mentality to pull together for the win over Oregon on Sunday out in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. The opponent, the defense, could lose those 2 bases. Maybe the first baseman muffs up a easy ground ball. Maybe the pitcher balks me home.
Part of the show, you know.
Lauren Hutchings isn't just a part of the show at Colgate ice hockey games.
He's just doing the stuff behind the scenes that, no one really sees. My parents come to all the games, and so my parents have a conversation with him, after every game.
Lauren's son Justin says he's especially proud of how his dad found something he loves.
It's kind of just showing his hard work and just never kind of giving up.
You need a certification to operate a Zamboni machine. Otherwise, I'd be hopping right in the driver's seat. You need more than just a piece of paper to be Lauren, though. In fact, you need to be more than just a groundskeeper. To be Lauren, you need to be a fashion expert.
I was in Walmart, and there's a guy with a black, kind of like a top hat. And I'm like, God, where you got that?
There was no consulting with anybody. I think he just went out and did it.
I was very surprised the first time I saw it. They're so funny. I don't know where they came from, but he pulls it off every time. There's always something new, and I know that all the girls in our team love it. But it just brings a lot of smiles and laughter to the rink.
The crowd really gets excited and into the game, where a lot of times it's like a weight. Plus, I was thinking about retiring next month soon, and I don't know if I can now.
Every piece matters on the way to success. While the women's team chases its 4th consecutive conference title, for Lauren, the wins come every game.
Feels like you actually did something, like you scored the big shot or something, you know. It's just, it makes you feel good, you know. It's just that it makes you have a sense of worth.
In Hamilton, New York, Jesse Cook, Citrus TV. It's no secret that failure is a part of sports and life. Success is too, but those pitfalls amidst the competition can drive kids away.
I think youth sports is at a crossroads.
Tracy Parker is the girls' lacrosse coach at Jamesville DeWitt High School, and she was an All-American field hockey player at Syracuse University in the late 90s.
There's that self-doubt sometimes that if I'm not doing the XYZ club, that I might not be good enough.
It's not just comparing yourself to others. To SU ice hockey forward Sarah Thompson, sometimes it's these simple struggles.
It's not easy to get up every single morning at 6 a.m.
And with those early mornings comes important lessons.
Great opportunities just to learn how to build friendships, how to deal with when things don't go well, because Lord knows in sports, not everything goes well. Dr. Jeff Pauline is a professor of sports psychology at Syracuse, and he was an athlete too. The former tennis player is married to a former swimmer, and both their kids play high school sports. If you ask around, there's one common theme to keeping kids in the game. They want to have fun.
I think my teammates.
So what keeps high school sports teams like the JD Girls Lacrosse Squad coming out to practice out of season on a rainy Saturday in October? It's not a trick question. It's a love for the game. It's a love for competition. It's a love for teammates. Maybe, just maybe, the coaching staff has something to do with that.
Well, I was fortunate. There was 2 major things. I grew up in a really small town. I had unbelievable high school coaches.
And hopefully what we have too is quality adult leadership.
Those lessons expand beyond the game, but how long do they last? NBC's youth sports outlet Sports Engine says that 70% of kids quit by their teenage years. To Coach Parker, a sports education is vital in adolescence.
There's just something about a dynamic of a team and those friendships and those bonds and those lessons that you learn that you take with you for life.
From the checkpoint between on the field and off, I'm Jesse Cook, NCC News. Fenway Park provided for a loud introduction to the new ACC. What felt like a home game for victorious Boston College turned into a rude welcoming party for SMU. The Mustangs are set to join teams like Syracuse, Wake Forest, Georgia Tech, and yes, BC in the ACC in 2024. It's not just the music and the noise that makes it a different feeling.
We're going to have quality depth to make it through a full season, and I think that's going to be the biggest adjustment. The accomplishments of this team this year aren't diminished. It's a really good football team. Super proud of them. Won a championship, did a lot of really good things.
Even after a loss at rainy Fenway Park, SMU felt confident about its future in the ACC, but in front of the intimidating green monster BC, the victors in the contest weren't scared either.
They're a good team. I mean, I have a ton of respect for everything that they've done this year. They're ranked as high as 17 in some of the polls. Cal coming in and Stanford coming in. It'll be different, but we'll do our thing and focus on ourselves this offseason.
We know what it's going to take because it's not just a one-game deal when you're in a league like the ACC. It's the week in, week out.
Teams take it game by game, week by week, and this week the Eagles earned their wings. From the last step before the new look for college football takes hold, and at Fenway Park in Boston, I'm Jesse Cook, Citrus TV. I'm Jesse Cook saying thank you so much for watching.